Escape room employees. What's the weirdest way you saw customers try and solve an escape room? A friend of mine works for an escape room and he told me about a puzzle where the key to the next door was shackled to a desk by a combination lock. What you are supposed to do is figure out the combination for the lock from the clues around the room to free the key. What one group decided to do instead was get a guy on each corner and pick up the £150 desk and carry it across the room, slide the key into the lock, and then rotate the entire desk to unlock the door. A for effort, honestly. Brute smarts. Work harder, not smarter. I mean, if it works, it works. Some people put their skill points in both strength and intelligence. There was a story on here a while ago about a guy in a group of 4 who took a broom from the first room because it had to be for something. He said it looked too out of place to be not needed. Well, he was half right. It was out of place, but that's because it was the broom used by the employees to clear the room. It was out of place, but that's because it was the broom used by the employees to clean the room. It was simply forgotten when they cleaned last time. The guys giving hints thought it was hilarious that this guy carried the broom through 4 rooms, expecting it to be the key to their escape at some point. I thought that was funny as hell. We do a lot of escape rooms. We were doing one that was mafia-based story. Came across a nail gun. My daughter started messing with it, trying to figure out what it was for. Game Master came flying in. It was from repairs they had been doing. It was loaded with nails and a full battery. She would have nailed herself if she pushed hard enough to disengage the safety. Fuck. Slightly too mafia realistic when she nails someone in the head. That reminds me of my favourite scene from The Wire. Shopping for nail guns. Had a group of engineers who were familiar with the style of the lock effectively reverse engineer the lock. They showed us how to do it afterwards. Given that they were engineers, they may have genuinely had more fun reverse engineering the lock than the actual puzzles. Once picked a combination lock while in an escape room. Also, an engineer can confirm. If there's anything a certain class of engineer loves more than anything else, it's achieving a goal the wrong way. Those people are invaluable as testers. QA here went to an escape room with colleagues from work once, 3 testers and 1 dev. We solved half the locks by applying work logic. Staff was lulled, and the dev just sat there yelling, "No, it's not designed like that. You're using it wrong." Dev must be like, "I have this key, let's try it. It works on my house." You know, I'm something of an engineer myself. I found the kind of cheap 4-digit lock I had in my garage and forgot the key. I remember an LPL episode, pulled on the shackle and spun the digits until I felt resistance. Then the lock clicked and felt like a pro. When I was in one, they told us several times that the fire extinguisher is not part of the puzzle. I'm 98% sure someone once used it. I always wait to see if they say not to disassemble smoke detectors. If they have that warning, I ask about it, and every time they will always have a story about a dumbass who ignored the warning labels and disassembled the smoke detector. But why would they be so adamant about it? I'm sure it's just a hint. Reverse psychology, man. We were supposed to find the numbers to a padlock. My boss had guessed the answer within 5 minutes. 80085? Nope. 69420? Nope. 42024/7? Nope. 692477. Got it. OP's boss. And that's why I'm the boss. Breaking everything. Trying to eat or drink things they should totally not be trying to eat or drink. What are they even trying to achieve here? Escape rooms are usually fully automated. Do they think there's some sort of magical bit of technology that will trigger when a certain object comes into contact with stomach acid? No, you've got it all wrong. When I try to drink the suspicious yellow liquid in the bottle, the employee will come rushing in trying to stop me. Just knock the bloke aside and dash out the door. Simple. Any percent speed run. Dart Viper AU wants to know your location. I drink the meth and it gives me strength and pain resistance to kick through the wall. Please call an ambulance. What kind of fucked up D&D session is this? If I had a copper for every time I've used my axe as a lockpick, I'd be rich. Went on a team building escape room and ended up in a room with a colleague we'll call Jeff. Jeff is profoundly deaf and a large part of this particular room involved listening to messages on dictaphones that can be found in different drawers, etc. About 10 minutes into the timer, an employee burst into the room in a panic and we turned to find Jeff taking the dictaphone apart piece by piece because he had no idea it was making any sound. He was not supposed to do that. Still a top bloke. I did a puzzle at a local place before Escape Games blew up that had a heart monitor that played a pseudo Morse code with high and low pitches as short and long. Problem was they used an octave for the 2 notes and the message was pretty fast, so most of the people in the room couldn't keep up without making a mistake. I think we spent 35 minutes on that one puzzle and never went back to that place. The operator was training and never thought to interfere beyond take another look at the heart monitor. Like, yeah, we've been looking at the heart monitor for half the damn game. The trainer operator explained afterwards it was the audio only and you just had to figure it out. Bad operators are one thing that can absolutely ruin an escape room. Even if the rest of the room is a bit janky, I can forgive it eventually, but when I'm in a room and the operator occasionally interjects with a hint that is either meaningless or ill-timed because I'm about to do what they said anyway, that really rubs me the wrong way. Just leave me alone until I ask for a hint or start doing something ridiculous. One of the puzzles is opened at the start of the room to reveal a large jug of water with a floating key, but the water level is too low for you to reach it. As you progress through the room, you get smaller canteens to fill up the jug. Bachelor party comes in already tipsy, orders multiple drinks as they progress through the room, and at some point one of them pisses into the jug to raise the water level. This is what made me leave for another job. If you ever go to an escape room, just know we're judging you for every move you make. Had a group of people come in high as kites. They did our hardest room, escaped in half an hour when they were given an hour limit. I went high as a kite, except I managed to get myself handcuffed to a filing cabinet for 15 minutes. There, you'll get it one day. Not an employee, but I went with a group of friends once. It was a room where you started with your ankle shackled to the wall and just had to get a door to escape. As soon as the timer starts, this shy, quiet girl in the room takes off her shoe and sock, yanks her foot completely out of place, slides the shackle off, resets it and walks out the door. Turns out she had some condition that makes her joints super flexible, but she set the record for the fastest escape time. I thought this was going to take it a slightly darker direction. I've seen 127 hours. Does anyone have a pocket knife? I have a friend who solved one in a similar manner. We were all shackled to a post, so he just removed his artificial leg, slid the shackle off, and said, "Well guys, this has been fun. Meet you in the bar in an hour," and walked out, leaving us all there. Too bad you guys are still stuck there. I was a part of a group that had surprised the employee because he witnessed us skipping a bunch of the puzzle on the camera. There was a puzzle involving a box you could look into, but when looking inside, the content was all blurry. In order to see the next clue, we had to put some sort of lens in front of it so that the clue would be readable. However, we found out by looking through a very small seam, we can make out what the clue is supposed to be without ever finding the lens. I did something similar once. Went up to a conspiracy theory themed room with friends and forgot to lock my polarized sunglasses up in the locker before going in. Mid game, I was putting on the sunglasses as a joke because, oh geez, it's so bright in this room. Glad I totally remembered to bring my sunglasses, not like you losers. Then looked over at a screen and saw a message up on it that you apparently needed to find the special polarized goggles for. We managed to skip past the need for that on pure luck. The one I went to had the same polarization trick on a computer monitor. We could also see some of it by looking at it from a sharp angle, but we ended up finding the lens shortly after. I'm not an escape room employee, but I did a lot of them and talked to the employees often. One of them told me there was a simple lock opened by a key that had Yale written on it, the name of the lock company, and a lady, not native English speaker, thought it read Yale and legit shouted "open" at it, expecting to open. I don't know if it's the weirdest, but we had a puzzle which involved Morse code. Usually you had to use an endoscope to find the alphabet in a chest. One person in this group actually knew the whole alphabet and was able to solve it. Why are there so many posts about engineers being unable to keep their hands off the furniture? LMAO. Have you not met many engineers? By just standing around doing nothing. Like seriously, you give them a hint, we have already looked there. Well, look better people. This was pretty standard though, to be honest. Also same, you tell them they don't need to climb things, they do. You tell them not to use any tools and they take their pocket knife. So many of those examples. Yeah, I asked my friend to check all the flags in the room to see if there was a key or something behind them. He comes back, the flags don't have anything behind them, he says. Spent a long time trying to find a key, cannot find this thing anywhere. I checked the flags again and sure enough, there's a key stuck to the back of one of them. What the heck, friend? Well, I checked the first two, so I thought they were just decorations and not a part of it. Dumbass. My son and I did an escape room with a few strangers. I looked everywhere for the password to a computer. I even said out loud that we need this password. After the timer is up, we are at the last room. One of the strangers pulls a paper out of a pocket with the password on it, completely oblivious that it could have been helpful. What the fuck? And with our final post to this thread, I once did an escape room where there was a combination lock that didn't work. We tried the code and the lock didn't open, so we moved on. At the end, the guy was like, "Oh yeah, that lock gets jammed even when you have the right code. You have to force it." Like, okay. And we paid money for this, right? Because a heads up before we went into the room would have been out of order. Yeah, this would have been very annoying. Thank you very much for making it to the end of a DeeKay YouTube video. If you are all interested in this Reddit channel, then please make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. I'll be uploading once a week, so make sure you turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload from me. But as a final takeaway for this video, watch Arcane on Netflix.